Our next one, the turnaround option, is a very common one, especially in the slow blues, where we go 1-4, 1-5. And we talk about Stormy Monday, at least the Bobby Bland or Allman Brothers version. So play us an example of 1-4, 1-5.
Yeah, this is kind of used throughout. A lot of B.B. King songs, I think, that I learned years ago seem to have that, half a measures of 1-4, 1-5. Mm-hmm. But
good. Go ahead and count us in, and I'll do the chord symbols.
I'm giving it kind of a 12, the 12/8 feel, triplets.
Triplet feel.
1, 2, 3,
and
4.
Let's play root notes together. Count us in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
As I play with it.
2, 3, 4.
I'm curious about your chord voicing. When I play the 2-draw root note on your 1 chord, I'm noticing some little difference in sound. What's the voicing of your chord?
Well, this is that T-Bone Walker 9 again.
So what
I have the 3rd on the bottom,
okay.
the flat 7, the 9, and then the 5th.
So the root's missing.
No root.
Not present.
You're playing.
So I'm the root.
You're the root. And that's the thing that I think it works the other way too. If the chord in the band, if somebody's not playing the root, then the harmonica player or sax or you play the root. And just like if I'm playing the root, you can play something else. See what I mean? If the chord is always going to be there, not necessarily everybody's going to be playing the same notes. So
one of the common issues, and actually it's interesting John brings this up, is my tip of the day. I do a tip of the day for bluesharmonica.com subscribers, and it goes on Facebook as well. And today's tip was there's a competition that we're doing, the Rumba, Rumba King, and I was listening to all the submissions today. And one of the common issues in the even in the higher ranking ones, because I was listening to those very carefully, because we're putting them in place along with the other judges. And all of them had issues with overusing the root note. The melodies got stagnant because they felt like they always had to resolve their phrases.
See, thumbs up. That's something I have an issue with students too. I talk to a lot of students and people.
Thing, yeah.
It seems to be. I think that's everybody's curse. I think when I started out, I did that a lot too. I think that's the note that most people gravitate for. It's the it's the easiest one to find, but it's really, it really doesn't have the juice like some of the other notes do in melodies in the songs. I'm not saying it's not important. Mm-hmm. My point is that you have to learn to be able to hear those other notes and to use those other notes when you make a melody.
And to be okay with not resolving all the time, because melodies that resolve every bar, every 2 bars is really quite boring to listen to.
Oh yeah, you need to, like I did a phrase right now. I started on the 3rd. I ended on the 6th.
Finishing on the 5th.
Yeah, see, you got, or I bent up to the 3rd. I bent to,
or flat 7th of the 4th chord.
The flat 7 of the 4th.
Quick change.
Yeah, right. So I'm actually, I'm moving with the changes. If the chord changes, I'm changing. So
because it dictates the notes you can play.
Right. See right there, the emphasis was on the 5th, not the root. So actually, hear that real quick. I hit it on a flat 7. Not the root. I touched on the root. So you're going to touch on the root on a lot of your phrasing, but it's not the most important note. It's got. I pushed the 7th there. Then I ended up, ending on the root. But again, you have all those other choices, and if the chord's a 9th, come on. The 9th's a good note too. The 9th could be your friend. It could be your strong that could be your strong tone that you actually want to emphasize, you know. And then maybe go to the root. But yeah, you have all these options. And I mean, without saying, you know, again, it depends on the chords. Obviously, if somebody played an 11 chord, then that fourth or that 11 is a note that you want to push, because that's definitely in the chord and it's an important note. But I tend to not, I play the roots, but I tend to end on a thirds, fifths, sevenths. I use other tones. I think you got to get to that point where you start thinking outside of just the root. Mm-hmm. It's so easy because that's like comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
That's like, oh, I know that place.
That's our gravitational center, yeah.
It's like when, you know, people learn the pentatonic scale. Yeah. You know, they always want to come home to the root. Yeah. So
normal pot of growth for a musician.
I think everybody goes through that for sure.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for that.